It's time for the Ravagers to rise once again to glory!
You are listening to The Ravager Report, a Fox Next Marvel Strike Force podcast dedicated to bringing you the latest news, information, and updates. With your hosts, Dorian.
It is a name what strikes fear into the hearts of anyone what hears it!
And Hebrew Hammer.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all!
Hello and welcome to episode 47 of the Ravager Report. I am, as always, your host, Dorian, and with me is the healthier Hebrew Hammer. Hebrew, how you doing tonight, bud?
I am much healthier, so yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
Well, that is very good. So, as everybody is, I'm sure, aware and brokenhearted over, we did not record last week. Hebrew and I both had some personal stuff come up, and we decided, since it was a holiday weekend, we were just going to take a small break, even though Hebrew had just had a 2-week break. But, you know.
Yeah, it was break on break on break for me. It was good.
So we are back and we are recording live as we do every Friday night on our Discord server, which you can get to at discord.me/Ravager Report. Or if you don't want to listen live, one option to get the live, uncut, and unedited show is, well, I guess uncut, unedited. Oof. Is to go to our Patreon and support us, which is at patreon.com/Ravager Report, where you can do things such as get the show notes early, get the live show. We are starting to offer roster reviews and show segments. So there's a lot of options there. Again, that's patreon.com/Ravager Report. So Hebrew, since it's been a couple of weeks, why don't you let everybody know what you've been up to?
So for me, I've been actually up to a decent bit. School started back up 2 weeks ago, so I've been doing that. And I also, my girlfriend is now living with me, and we just got a very expensive and elaborate closet organizing system that I had to put up. And yeah, it took like 5 or 6 days. I think it's ridiculous. It looks really cool, but that thing is fucking ridiculous. So yeah, I've been basically a carpenter for the past couple of days. But so doing that and then catching up on a whole bunch of podcast stuff. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for me though. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it is for me at least. So what about you?
Last week was kind of a nightmare for me. I worked 14-hour days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then took off Friday because I was done trying to get our product deployed out, because we in my company we do updates 3 weeks out of the month, with 1 month for system maintenance, or 1 week for system maintenance. So we're constantly on a revolving deployment cycle. So we spend like 1 week in QA, followed by 1 week, or it's like 1 week in like testing, then 1 week in a production QA system, and then we finally go into production. So it was a lot of people were disappearing, and it's like herding cats. So I was just like, ugh. And then this week I moved to a new team in the company. So I've switched jobs. I've still got the same title, and I'm still a programmer, but I'm working on a different team doing some different things, more continuous engineering type of stuff. So it was at least I'm happy again. You know, I mean, it's not that I wasn't happy where I was, but I'm happy where I'm at, and having a lot of fun. So It's funny. I just want to make this really quick comment here that Peon, thank you, says, well, Hebrew has lost his manhood, closet organizer system. And I just got to say, I've replied in chat, but I got to let everybody know this. We've already established this. Long time ago we established this, that we have cut up the man card and let it go. All right. It's not a samurai top knot. It's a man bun. Okay.
What did we cut it off for? Because why did I lose it before?
Wait, what this time? That Pellegrino?
that is delicious, and I will not let that go. I think every man should drink Pellegrino.
Let's see. Not knowing how to change the oil in your car.
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't know how to do that, and I don't think I ever will.
All right. Do you even know how to check your brakes?
No, you know what I know how to do with my car? I know how to drive it. That is literally it.
Drive it and pay a mechanic to do that. Hey, but you know what?
Exactly.
That's awesome, man, because you're keeping somebody employed, right?
Exactly.
So
yeah, I'm what's good about America. I am creating jobs. That's my purpose.
There it is. You know what? I wish we had gas pumpers still.
I pump my own gas.
So. I pump my obviously. I don't know of any place that really does that full service anymore. But man, I'm not gonna lie, I miss that.
Up in the north, they do. Up in the north, they do. Yeah, all of New Jersey. Yeah, I have family in New Jersey, and whenever we go over there, they actually don't know how to pump gas. Whenever they come over and visit us, they're like, "Well, how do I do this?"
Wow.
That's crazy.
Okay, I did not know that New Jersey and Oregon, it was the law not to pump your own gas. So, wow.
Wow, illegal to pump your own gas. I didn't know that. I didn't know it went that far.
That's insane, and that's just lawlessness.
Hey,
that is rampant driveaways. That's rampant driveaways.
Jobs.
But it is. It's creating jobs, and
jobs.
that's awesome.
Good stuff.
Yes, we need more jobs. Let's see. Other than that, in game, Evan, what did I do in game? Oh, man. So I showed Hebrew this. I have been with AIM Security, and she is doing a really bang up job. Like sometimes 2 and 3 defense is being held in with like really like my Ultron defense is only around 200K, and people are having to come in with like 250, 260K teams to blow it away, and it's taking them like 2, sometimes 3 times. So it's it's not Ultron, it's AIM Security. It's actually the combo of the two, because she gets that perma-taunt up and he starts killing people, and it's just awesome.
Yeah. I agree.
And we'll get
it was
more
a good
into
combo
that.
Whenever you showed me it.
Yeah, and we'll get more into AIM a little bit later in the show, because I think there might have been an announcement earlier this week. But before we do, Hebrew, I feel like we need to have kind of one last season-ending Rose Watch 2019. Because it is,
I guess so.
It is coming to the end of the season now. Thankfully, where I live in Middle Tennessee, the weather stays really nice, and they'll probably bloom through October, maybe early November. But I'm getting ready to get mulch and start piling mulch up around the bulbs to protect them through the winter. But the bushes have been absolutely beautiful. They're up over 5.5 feet now, so they are going strong. In fact, my wife is enjoying cutting them and putting them in vases and giving them out to friends and neighbors. So that is utterly fantastic. And I know it's not grab bag time, but no, I'm just going to ignore that one. So, let's see. Let's get into, we did not do this last week, which was kind of a good thing because we didn't have the show. But this week we did have our listener survey. So this week's listener survey, we kind of went back a couple of weeks and talked about some different things in the game and coming up into current affairs. So the first section here is a block party. So for those of you that weren't aware, there was an issue with the block party a couple of weeks ago where you couldn't do it. It bombed out, but some people were able to do it. And then there was compensation, and then it was restarted, and there was kind of this big mess up. And now they're going to run it a third time, and yeah, that's not going to go bad. But so Hebrew, the first time the block party came out, were you able to do it at all?
Yeah, I did it. That's why I didn't even know that this was actually kind of a thing until I saw it on Reddit.
Did you do it all 3 times?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I think I tried it, and it kind of crapped out on me.
You know, I had someone message me about that as an issue not too long ago as well. So I guess, yeah, like you said, there was a big problem with it. So I just didn't experience it, so I was ignorant to it.
Yeah, so So we had a total of 53 responses for the survey because I didn't get it out till today. But 30 people said no, 23 said yes. So really close to almost a 50-50 split here. When you did it, did you get the rewards for it? So yes, no, or you didn't do it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So I tried it once and it bombed out. So no, I didn't get rewards. Which like 2 other people had that same problem. 28 people said they didn't even do it, and 23 said yes, they got the rewards. Now, did you get rewards through the in-game mail? Yes or no?
No, I don't think I did.
Okay. So 35 people also did, and I did get rewards through the in-game mail, but I didn't get the really nice rewards, which affected some people because of some war issues. So they wound up getting like 50 orange material as well, and on top of everything we got for the block party. So yeah, it was they wound up getting like 150 total orange mats, which is really, really good compensation.
Yeah, definitely.
But so 18 respondents got rewards through the in-game mail, and 35 did not. And if you did block party the first time, were you able to do it again the second time? Yes, no, or didn't do it 3 times the first time? So were you able to do it twice?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was.
Yeah, so 13 people, 13 respondents also were able to do it. 14 said no, and then 26 said they didn't do it 3 times the first time. So yeah, that block party was just kind of a disaster. And we'll see what happens when it comes back again.
It's just weird that they have problems with things that have been done so many times before without issue. I don't know if is that wrong of me to think it's weird, or is that fairly normal?
I mean, okay, so we have talked about this on this show for a good solid month and a half at this point. My fear is that Seismic left and Fox Next was left a code base that they just are struggling with. And it's just as we keep talking about, it's hard as a developer when you're just handed this code base that somebody else did that you now have to maintain and add on to. So it can cause problems. And I'm wondering if that's what we're seeing, that they're trying to add new things maybe, and it's messing up old things.
Yeah, it's true. That could be it. That would actually explain some of it.
So,
because I feel like it does need a bit of an explanation, but yeah, I mean that's pretty good in my book.
Yeah, I mean it may have been. Now somebody correct me here because I don't keep track of these things, so I don't remember. Was this the first block party with an auto win? Because Avenue in chat said it was the auto win. Was this the first block party with an auto win? Because if it was, that would kind of make some sense. But if it wasn't, then
it wasn't the first event with the auto win, but it was the first block party, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So if it was the first block party with an auto win, then that was most likely they tried to add something new and it didn't pass QA because I guess they didn't hit the auto win button. I don't know. Just I don't know. I don't know how something like that doesn't get flagged or how it gets through QA.
Yeah, but that's a good point though. Yeah, I forgot that the auto win, that this was the first time around for it being auto win. So yeah, that probably is the reason why things got a little messy.
Yeah, and but here's what concerns me with that, right? QA. That's what QA is for. You don't take something live that you haven't tested and just go, meh, we've done it over here. Should work over here. It's almost the same. That's called cowboy programming. That's very, very bad.
All right, so Captain Murdoch says, can you define QA for the Fox Next employees in the audience?
It's called quality assurance. It's where you go and test functionality. Your devs, when they do code, they should do what's called an RIA, which is a risk impact analysis to let you know what they're changing so that you can go test that functionality. So that way you can go, hey guys, this is broken.
Yeah, I don't think that they ever do that. And that's not me like hating, that's me being realistic. Like, because I mean, we have so many things go wrong in this game so consistently that I feel like and they're pretty obvious things too. So I feel like they really just don't. They just put things in and they're like, all right, launch it now. And they don't test it out.
Well, and I wonder if what's happening is if they're doing what's called self-test, and the person who developed it is running it locally or in a simulator locally, and it's working fine for them, and they're just like, this is good. It works. And they're not, having anybody else take a look at it. Code reviews are a wonderful thing, but sorry, my inner developer's coming out, so I'm not surprised the first response is, did you try rebooting? That actually is one of their first responses, by the way, if you've ever talked to customer support. Next section here is the rescue blitz orb. So this is kind of blown up a bit and then not so much. So I get two different feelings on this rescue in the blitz orb only, not being in the blitz store, but just in the blitz orbs. So we'll talk about this a little bit more, but Hebert, do you like that rescue is only in the blitz orbs? Yes, no, or you just don't care?
I mean, I don't. I would say no. Yeah, I would just say no. I would prefer it to be everywhere. Like, I don't like it just in the blitz orbs.
Yeah, I'm a big hell no.
Yeah.
I
mean, like, the only thing is, like, I borderline don't care, but I would mostly say, yeah, it's a hard no for me. But I am definitely not a yes. But yeah, I'm somewhere in between there.
Well, 40 of our respondents agreed with the no. 9 didn't care, and 3 said yes. I think those are our 3 trolls.
Yeah.
Probably. Do you like that you have to decide between war boosts and characters in the Blitz store?
No, I fucking hate that. That's one of the dumbest things I've seen.
So
I hate that they overcrowded that so suddenly too.
Like, they just dropped.
Very frustrating.
There was like nobody forever, and then who they dropped first? Mantis or Miles?
Mantis was the first one to drop in there, I think.
I think it was Miles. At least then it was Mantis. Then it was Juggernaut. Then Falcon, or not Falcon, Vulture.
Or at least Mantis was Mantis, in my opinion, is much more desirable than Miles is. So that was whenever I actually started putting credits towards Mantis. So and boosts and everything. But
right, yeah, you can't forget the boosts.
They added in Rhino. Yeah, then they added in Rhino, and then I'm juggling, and then it's a nightmare now. They really overstocked that, and then the other stores are just sitting there gaining currency. So.
Right. Well, and I think part of the reason for that is because when you look at look, they have all the data, right? They have the data, we don't. And so it's very possible that because the Blitz store has been so stagnant for so long, and there aren't that many quality characters before it to have really farm out of there. Like once you get the core, 4 or 5. Before they added the new characters, there really was nothing in there. And people just had a ton of Blitz currency. Because if you Blitz a lot, you get a lot of currency.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's kind of ridiculous that they just went, well, let's just flood that market so that we'll bleed everybody dry of the currency. Because that's honestly what they were doing. And the problem with Rescue going here, number one, is you did not play in beta. No. I can't remember if it was post beta or right before global launch, but they started playing with like the currency cost in the raid store, and it became a completely outrageous price point. And that's what they're doing with Rescue, because if you consider the fact that she's a quote unquote guaranteed 10% drop rate, I don't know how she would be are the other characters not guaranteed to be the listed drop rate? Is that what's going on there?
I feel like that's going on to this. It works 100% of the time. It works 60% of the time.
Yeah, pretty much. And if you go off that number statistically, right, you're paying 3,500 credits for 5 shards.
Yeah.
And that's kind of ridiculous when compared to other characters.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and especially since boosts are something like if especially the more competitive your alliance is, the more you need those boosts. I think that boosts should be available in all of the stores. That's where I go, because that way I can choose which currency I want to take out from. They won't ever do it, but I would like it to be like that.
One can only hope. They've been getting. I will tell you that there has been a lot of pushback, and I've had discussions / arguments with Cerebro, big on the slash, about this topic and about Rescue coming to the Blitz store, and a lot of the other envoys have as well. To varying degrees of they're putting people in a bad position. Now, new players are not going to see this issue for a while. This honestly is kind of an in-game issue, because if you're not a spender and you didn't basically buy Rescue up, and now you're forced to farm her, but you're kind of in that kind of in-game player, you're stuck having to make a choice. Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
You either help your alliance by boosting in war and buying boosts, or you farm a really good war character to help your team in war, help your alliance in war, and to help yourself in Blitz and to build your collection. So, this is a resource management game. It really, really is. But there comes a point where it's no longer resource management and you're just kind of putting the screws to your players. And I felt like the Rescue was kind of that screws to the player, because you either, help your alliance by increasing your roster strength and developing your teams, or you help your alliance with the horrific system of boosting.
Yeah.
So, and that's personal opinion on boosting. I think boosting is one of the worst things in this game. So it's
boosting's terrible. I mean, because there's no skill involved. It's just like you have an advantage because of your time zone in a lot of cases.
And spamming.
That I think is done. Yeah,
because I've done this.
Yeah, how much free time you have, kind of thing.
Yep, because I've sat while watching TV, and I'll be on a kind of an important room, and I'll just be watching, and I'll just sit and I'll just let my finger tap as I'm watching TV.
Yeah,
because I don't care. Right? There's no skill in this. That's right. I'm just waiting for a fight to be done so that I can boost it. That's all.
Exactly.
Because I know they're going in to clear the boost because it's a 300k defender team. So I'm gonna immediately reboost it. So
yeah, exactly.
So Hebrew, do you like that you have to decide between war boosts and character? Oh, we talked that one, didn't we?
Yeah, we did that.
Would you like to see the boosts spread out to other stores? Yes, no, or don't care?
I want to see them. I want them in all of the stores. So I can, like I said, it's like pick and choose.
I'm with you on that one, because I would do it from the raid store in a freaking heartbeat. Because the characters I need out of the raid store, I could count on 2 fingers.
Yeah.
So
I mean, until they tighten up that one too. We'll see how long that lasts.
Well, the RNG. I mean, I not Killmonger, War Machine, Mysterio. I never see those two. Never.
Yeah, you're a slave to RNG in that store.
Yeah. So 31 people said yes. 9 said no. 13 said they don't care. And finally, do you think that Fox Next added Rescue to only Blitz orbs to force people to buy the $9.99 War Pack to be able to farm Rescue and help their alliance? Yes, no, or you don't care? So
you're asking me if money was the reason that they made a decision? I would say a hard yes on that
one. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the almighty dollar.
Exactly.
So 39 people said yes, 9 said no, and 5 said don't care. And look, I'm not opposed to any company ever making money, because you know how I feel about that. But at the same time, people got to. I mean, they got to stop spending and tell them no. They're not going to listen to you until you spend money. It's like there was a survey that went out last week. Mm-hmm. Did you get the survey?
No.
You did not meet the spending threshold. It was about skins. And I forgot to add it to this. It just dawned on me. I forgot to add it to this. So one of the questions on there was like $30 for skins. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
$30 for skins? What?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a joke. Oh,
You know?
that's
And it's like,
bad.
what? I mean, look, they're trying to find that break point of where people will get the most money. Right. And that's kind of the high end. They probably went like 30 to 5,
Jesus.
and they're looking somewhere in between, right?
But I see this is what really upsets me is that like I'm all for skins if that's the only form of monetization that you have. But then like having, the monetization system that they have currently and adding on skins on top, that's so annoying. I feel like they're trying to, I mean, it doesn't matter for me because I'm not buying either way, but like I just feel like they're trying to squeeze me from every which direction. It's
you don't already feel that way with all the ads that get thrown in?
Well, I do. You know that. But I mean like even more so. Like there has to be a breaking point for people that are spending that just makes them so disgusted that they stop. I mean, for me that was a while ago, but I feel like they have to know that for other people that's going to happen as well.
Yeah.
And maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong here. I don't know.
And here's where I feel like they kind of made a mistake on this survey, right? Is my understanding is from all the feedback that I've heard is that it really only went out to people who have spent significant amounts of money in this game. Mm-hmm. That should not be your target audience to ask how much they would spend because they've already shown that they're willing to basically spend whatever.
Yeah.
You should be sending it out to the people who don't spend to find out what they'd be willing to spend on for skins. Now, you're probably going to get your $1 to $2 to $5 comments, but if your non-spenders are telling you they'd be willing to spend money and do more engagement, that you've got to the whole model has to be turning your free-to-play players into dolphins and your dolphins into whales. And your whales into krakens. But, I mean, that's really the model that's got to be sustained here to keep the income coming.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. So, I'm not going to argue with you on that one.
So, let's move on to the next section. And this is a topic that is very near and dear to my heart and has been for almost a year now. So an announcement was made yesterday because a leak happened, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna give all credit here to Pope, because while you were on vacation, so 3 weeks ago now, on this very show, we had the very first public discussion that I'm aware of about a new character coming to the game called Graviton, and there was, I guess, more data mined information yesterday. And Fox Next was like, well, guess that cat's out of the bag, and decided to post it publicly that Graviton's coming. And part of their message in that was take aim with Graviton. Now, for those of you that don't know Graviton, Graviton's been in Marvel since 1977. Canadian physicist who was part of was doing experiments when the lab exploded, surprise, surprise. And I think he was doing black hole experimentation and or gravity experimentation. And basically, he became imbued with the power of his experiment, and he can manipulate gravity. So I'm kind of envisioning a character who's going to be kind of a cross between Quake and Magneto. But he was an Avengers foe for a while, and ultimately he joined the High Council of AIM. So he is an AIM affiliated character, and because of that phrasing that they used, take aim with Graviton, I really feel that we are going to be getting the AIM rework with Graviton.
Yeah, that little tease that we got in your interview, plus that, I definitely think that we are getting closer and closer to that AIM rework that now I also want. So, I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah. Now, somebody in chat reminded me that he was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I have not seen those seasons, but apparently he was played by Peter Petrelli from Heroes. So
what?
Yeah.
No,
or Nathan
awesome.
Nathan
Okay.
Petrelli. I'm sorry, not Peter Petrelli. Nathan Petrelli, the older
Wait,
the
which
senator
one?
brother. Nathan was the
Oh,
senator that
never
could
mind.
fly.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Peter was the badass.
Yeah, Peter was cool.
So how do you feel about an AIM rework? Happy, excited, it's about time. Meh, I don't care. Or sad, angry, there are others I would have preferred first.
I don't know if I'd care too much if it wasn't for my 7 red star scientist supreme, but now I'm super pumped for it. There's nothing I'm asking for more than an aim rework now. So I'm excited.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to have 7-star AIM something or other. Unfortunately, if you got a 7-star researcher, I'm so sorry. Oof. That's the one I leave out of every team.
Yeah.
I'm also in the happy, excited, it's about time. 29 other people agreed with us. 13 said, meh, don't care. And then 11 people said, sad, angry, there are others I would have preferred first, which I can understand. I have a feeling that a lot of that is because we've had 2 character announcements with no sign of in-game characters yet. And we've had characters that were announced after them come into the game. So, you kind of got to go, well, where's Cyclops? Where's Coulson? I mean, come on.
Yeah, that does actually worry me a bit, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those 2 guys are getting the Loki treatment at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
What level of rework do you expect AIM to get? Shield, Defenders, Kree, or other?
I hope Shield for my own sake, but I'm going to go ahead and say Defenders. I think logic tells me Kree will be the level, but for some reason I think they're going to surprise us with the Defenders, and I just hope we're going to get a Shield.
Yeah, I also am hoping for a Shield, but that's because I've already got like 3 AIM at 30k power, and they're not all 7-star yet. Right. So, yeah, logic tells me that we can expect probably a Kree level rework. It'll be interesting to see. I have a feeling they're going to make them a war team. I really hope not, but I'm afraid we're going to see that. I don't
think there'll be war.
You don't think so? They feel like they're kind of built for war
too hard.
No, I think that's their whole point.
Pressing war too hard.
I think that's what they want to do. Yeah. They're trying to make war the game mode.
I think that they're going to be a raid team. I always say that I think that they're going to be a raid team, and I'm always wrong. So take this with a grain of sand.
I mean,
but maybe. I think they're going to be a raid team with a new style of healing, like and buff flipping and things like that. I think that it's going to be pretty cool. But I'm going to say raid team.
I could be all right with a raid team, especially if they're built to do some work in Ultima 7. I would be perfectly fine with that. It will obviously make the beta raid a little bit easier. Yeah, or, I'm sorry, Gamma. Gamma raid. Gamma raid's got the aim specific nodes early on.
Yeah, exactly.
So that'll at least be nice. And they are nearly all tech villains.
Yep.
So they'll work great with Ultron.
Oh man, gosh, another incoming team. And that's going to be potentially really, really frustrating, depending on what level of rework we see. But yeah.
Well, and you also got to think, and we'll talk about this a little bit later in the show, but you got to think about, first of all, it's going to be dependent upon, what the reworks are, what they do to the team, basically. And then, you got to think about who are you going to be using in that team. I mean, I've got my 5 already, but we'll talk about that a little bit more later.
Yeah.
But I also want a Shield level rework, but I have a feeling we're going to get Creed. I'd be happy with Defenders. I think a majority, 41 people said they expect a Kree level of rework. 5 people said Shield, 4 said Defenders, and 3 said other. Are you looking forward to seeing what Graviton can do? Yes, no, or don't care?
I'm very much looking forward to see what he can do because, that holds a lot of weight as to how good the AIM team is going to be. So, and who we're going to plug, if we're going to plug them in and play them for any particular unit. and yeah, if he's gonna have synergy with Scientist Supreme, stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited about that. But like I said, everything is skewed for me because I have a lot of personal gain if this pays off.
Yeah, that's very true. And a lot of it's gonna, like you said, a lot of it's gonna depend on Graviton's kit and what they do with the reworks for the AIM minions, really. But I'm solidly in the yes camp. 42 people said yes. 10 said they don't care, and 1 said no.
Yeah.
How do you feel about a new AIM character? Excited, happy, man, don't care, or sad, angry?
Excited, happy, obviously.
Yeah, I'm there with you. Obviously. So 30 people agreed with that. 22 said, man, don't care, and 1 said they're sad and angry. And the last AIM question: do you think we'll see MODOK come into the game? Yes, no, or don't care?
The fact that MODOK, that we're seeing this guy Graviton before MODOK means that he's probably not coming for a bit, I would imagine. I would hope that we eventually see him though. So I'm less sure about him coming now though. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to say yes, we will, but again, where are they going to fit him into the release cycle? Because I have suspicions of things that are going to be coming up in October, and I don't know if we're going to see more AIM or any new characters for AIM at that point. I have a feeling we're going to see more Halloweenish characters.
Right.
I no confirmation on this, but I'm suspecting we will see Ghost Rider.
That would be amazing. I can't wait to see
fantastic.
what they do for the animation of him.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
But 23 people said yes, they think we'll see MODOK. 18 said no, and 12 said they don't care.
We see a lot of chatter right now about Iceman coming in the studio audience.
Oh, yeah?
Do you have any comment on that? Or
I have not read it yet. So who's this coming from?
Right now, Pope.
Let's see.
But it's probably through cast.
Iceman is coming.
Sounds like new X-Men meta will be Phoenix, Iceman, Colossus, Cyclops, and Psylocke. Which makes sense. If Colossus or not Colossus, if Cyclops stays the way he is with his stats, that was leaked a while ago. Holy cow. So yeah, he destroys everything. But yeah, that'd be if that's the case, that'd be super awesome. I'm interested to see what Iceman's kit is gonna look like.
Yeah, we're gonna need to get Pope on a semi-permanent basis talking about stuff. So
yeah,
according to a source here, who has apparently been dead on for quite a few things, we are looking at Iceman coming into the game.
That's pretty good. Is there any mention of his kit or what role he is or anything?
Not sure about role, but something about he'll have a 1-turn ice minion summoned to protect against an opening barrage. Oh my god, did they really just steal from Galaxy again? A character in Galaxy of Heroes recently did this, where he summons a minion immediately with taunt.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's gonna be, because the only person that has turn 1 taunt right now is what, the Drax, right?
Yeah, Drax is the only pre-taunter.
Yeah, so that'd be pretty good if that's the case. But does that make any sense? I mean, have we ever seen him do an ice minion? I feel like that doesn't make any sense for him.
I have to go back through the comics. It doesn't. I mean, maybe early on they did something along those lines, but I don't think so. But if it's just basically a snowman with taunt, I don't know.
All right, well, that's that. All right, we can go back to the thing now. I saw a lot of mention of it. So.
Yeah. So that was our listener survey for episode 47. Thank you to everybody that participated. I will try to get these out earlier in the week so that we can get more responses. So let's move into the news of the week. So we did have a dev blog today, which honestly, I'm kind of done with them. They don't give us anything.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, ugh. There's nothing.
I mean,
here.
it's basically a lineup of what's going to be happening for the week, like without any super specific hard dates most of the time.
Yeah, that's the bad thing, and it's really bad. But
it's devolved to that because it used to be like really interesting stuff about what's coming in the future, and we used to be able to prep around it a little bit. But yeah, now it's just kind of because they agreed to like this weekly thing. It's devolved to what it is now. So,
well, I encourage everybody to contact Foxnax and say, please stop. Just do it once a month.
Yeah, but I'd say once a month.
Give us a once a month.
With actual interesting information would be good, I think.
Yes, that would be awesome. This weekly nothing is just, like now live, the Human Torch Blitz. Well, great. Anybody that's logged into the game knows this. It's just kind of like, ugh.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but we did get some information that Mr. Fantastic is coming to the game. He will be available via Blitz. Brains and Brawn are up for grabs this week as Mr. Fantastic enters Blitz for the first time. Stretch the limits of your roster for a chance to recruit the Elastic Controller for the Fantastic Four. Mr. Fantastic shuts down foes by clearing positive effects, applying single target stuns, and granting assist now to Fantastic Four allies every turn. Create a versatile powerhouse with Mr. Fantastic and the Fantastic Four. So he does have an interesting kit. That assists now to Fantastic Four allies every turn. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Now I don't have him personally, but a couple of people in our alliance do, and they've had some pretty nice things to say about him so far. Especially when he calls in like Thing. The damage has been really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a must-have for a Fantastic Four team because he keeps the engine going. I feel like with the assist that he gives and all the extra benefits, pretty much exclusively from his passive. But yeah, outside of that team, meh, at best, I'd say. So Yeah, I mean, he's going to be really good and Fantastic Four, but outside of that, yeah. So he doesn't really do a lot for me,
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, clears positive effects, applies single target stuns. I mean, we've seen that.
Exactly.
I mean, there are other characters that do that as well. Where we're at this point in the game is how do they work with the other characters on the team? And, like you said, him not really working outside the Fantastic Four as much, meh. I mean, okay, great.
Yeah, exactly. But that being said, like I don't want to take anything away from what he's obviously meant to do, which is he's an integral part of the Fantastic Four team, and he's very, very, very good at that. But yeah, just outside, he just doesn't impress me, which seems to be the case for a lot of most of the members of teams that we see continuously coming out. It usually seems to be like one member per team that actually is good outside of the squad, it seems like, or has some kind of purpose outside of the squad.
Yeah. I mean, look, his have you read his for science kit?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pretty awesome.
Oh, it's amazing, but it's all for Fantastic Four.
On each Fantastic Four ally's turn, 100% chance to apply assist now.
Mm-hmm.
To self, name, or a random Fantastic Four ally. So it's not just on his turn; it's on every Fantastic Four's turn.
Yeah, like I said, he's the engine that keeps it going in the Fantastic Four team. Like he's fantastic, no pun intended, for the Fantastic Four team. He does his job incredibly well, and he is an integral part of that team. He needs to be there, but yeah, it's just unfortunate that they just pack so much into these passives now. It is crazy the amount of text of raw text in these passives that we see now. It's nuts, and it's all specific to whatever team that they're a part of, and yeah, I don't know.
I just
It's
what I
just
don't
he's going to be
like.
great for Fantastic Four. I can't wait to play him in Fantastic Four. I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but
Yeah, no,
he's
he
just
will.
another one of those characters that I don't imagine me using too much outside of it.
No, not really. My one thing is I don't like the big middle finger to Magneto, and it feels like this is
Oh, clear
everybody's
blind.
yeah. If the
Yeah,
assist now is applied, clear blind, and it's just like a
yeah,
big. I mean, they made Magneto so good that they have to write specific counters into Rhino, Mister Fantastic, and others. I mean, it's ugh.
yeah. I mean, coming up with counter kits for really strong characters though is something that kind of inevitably happens in these games though. So I'm not too surprised.
Yeah. I just oof.
It is a pretty obvious middle finger though to
It
Magneto.
is. It really, really is. Um, let's see. So yeah, I mean he's gonna be a fun character to play. He does some decent damage. He chains. We always like a chain, and stun's always good. Um, and like I said, that passive is gonna just make the Fantastic Four work.
Exactly.
Now wait until Sue drops in,
Yes.
because that's just gonna be insane.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited to play the Fantastic Four team. I mean, I'm not going to get Sue on the first run, but I'm can't wait till I even just see them all going. But it's certainly whenever I play them all myself, I'm really excited about because they're going to be a really not only good team, but they're going to be a really fun team.
Yeah, yeah, they are gonna be a lot of fun. So we saw something kind of interesting this week. We had a Pyro Blitz on Monday. And that Pyro Blitz, a lot of the prognosticators had the numbers a little lower than what actually were reflected, and it looked like it was kind of inflated. I honestly was personally kind of surprised by that.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't too surprised. I guess I
Well, I
expect
mean,
to see
he
those
is
numbers absolutely
farmable.
crazy. Yeah, but I mean, he's part of Brotherhood, and he's a really good champion that can be pieced out. But I mean, I don't know. He's these blitz numbers that I see for everyone are insane. So
Well, that is very true, and I think that's really kind of the bigger story here is that the blitz numbers have gotten just phenomenally out of control. It takes so much time and effort to do this that I mean, you got to work this game like it's a job,
you really do.
and
Yeah.
that is. I'm gonna tell the cold, hard, honest truth here. I don't feel that that's good game design. That is not
Yeah.
that you're kind of I hate to use the word preying, but you're kind of preying on people's desire to compete and be the best. I mean, look, ultimately it's people's choice to do something or not. So you're either going to go hard at blitz or you're not going to go hard at blitz. I mean, ultimately it's your choice and you do you. But I think that having a game mode where you're competing basically with everybody else in the game is just, horrible because you've got new players who are, after 30 days get jumped into the main blitz pool and they're never going to be able to keep up ever.
Yeah. I mean, just imagine being a person and just seeing those numbers. It's daunting. I mean, honestly, it's probably not good too, because that would drive me away. That would drive me right away. If I'm like, I am this far behind. No, thank you. I'm out. That's what I would say. So, yeah, I think that, yeah, they need to fix that. And we were actually talking about that a little bit beforehand in the Patreon chat. I think you stepped away during this time, but we were talking about Blitz and how things need to change and how things, we think are subtly changing, but there really needs to be a big shift there, because that is a really important part of the game. Obviously, as we've already talked about, the currency for there is really, really important. And I feel like you do so much and you get very little out of it. And what's even more upsetting is that you could put in an absurd amount of time to make that jump on the higher end, right? To try to break those tiers to get whichever one you want, and you could fall just the tiniest bit short and then have wasted days of playing.
Yep.
Right. So yeah, it's overall. I don't want to get caught up too much in this kind of stuff, because people don't like it. But it is not. This is a game that is not respectful of your time. It disrespects my time.
It really does, and it honestly it has for a very long time.
Yeah, and that's why you just have to, like, in order to play this game now, just as a regular person, I feel like you really do, because it's a great game. So you really do kind of have to pick and choose what you want now, and it's unfortunate that it's like that because for me, I like to do it all, but I know I can't. So I really do have to pick and choose what I want to do in the game. But yeah, Blitz is it's too dangerous, because it's one of those things. Like I hate the idea of coming so close to something that I basically put in 20 plus more hours to potentially, and then falling short and getting nothing for that extra work I did. That's terrifying. So
yeah, I can't tell you how bad I hate Blitz.
I know we both don't hate Blitz. So yeah, I don't want to stick on it.
I milestone and chill, man, and I don't care. I don't care beyond that.
Yeah, I was thinking about going hard for Mr. Fantastic, because like I said, I really am excited to play, the full Fantastic Four squad. But I think it's like I'm gonna forget to blitz on one of my rotations early, and then I'm gonna immediately give up. So
right,
it'll go to 10%.
Yeah, it's what I did. Like I started on Pyro. I went a little bit, like the last few blitzes. I did go a little bit harder than normal, mainly because the 80th milestone orbs.
Yeah,
and so, which sadly, I think as I mentioned earlier, I just missed a 4-star Namor, but at the same time, like today, I'm like, well, there's no more 80th milestone. I just don't care. I'm not going to hit top 1500 for this. And I'm just like, whatever. So, I'm like at milestone 12, and I'm like, okay, if I finish it, great. If I don't, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually kind of like this weird sense of relief whenever you are going hard and then you kind of miss it and you fuck up, and then you're like, oh well, all right, I guess I kind of screwed my chances. I guess I don't have to spend the next 2 days watching the clock like a madman. So
yeah
but yeah, next thing, I'd say we talked this one to death.
Yeah. So again, as we talked during the survey, we've got Graviton coming into the game. So give you a little bit of background on Graviton. I apologize, I was wrong. I misremembered. He wasn't working on black holes. He was working on a practical teleportation device in the Canadian Rockies. In the midst of an experiment, Hall attempted to align a set of matrices and induce teleportation, but only succeeded in overloading the power handling capacity of his equipment, causing an explosion that intermingled his molecules with the sub-nuclear graviton particles that were being generated in a nearby series of companion particle accelerators. That was actually one complete sentence on the wiki.
Wow.
So, right? Recovering from the accident, Hall discovered that he could mentally control gravity. So he wound up taking over that research city. The Avengers were called in. He actually captured them and beat the Avengers. Later on, he wound up, as I said, joining AIM and becoming part of the High Council there. So in the comics, his powers are gravitokinesis. He can mentally manipulate gravitons, allowing him to control gravity. He can also surround an object or person with anti-gravitons, thus increasing or decreasing the Earth's pull of gravity on it. So that gives him flight, movement impairment, attraction, a blast, and force field generation. It'll be interesting to see which abilities here they use. So I think movement impairment is pretty much going to be there. And probably the attraction with this, like a stun. So he's going to, there's so much he could do.
Yeah, I mean, I think like the scope of his ability is going to be applied to so many things. So speculating on it almost seems pointless to a certain degree. But I think it's fair to say that, yeah, like slowing and speeding up will probably have a good bit to do with it. I think we'll at least see that, which, is something that would be useful superficially even right now in the AIM team because, they're so slow. That's part of the problem. So, if you're able to speed them up and then maybe slow them down while they have their buffs, well, they wouldn't really want that too. I don't know. But you can mess around with that. Like, you see the concept that AIM went for, and, some things that might be able to come with Graviton would be interesting to apply to that theory.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I'm either way though. I'm excited about it.
And then obviously we've got the AIM rework coming. So as part of that, I don't even want to speculate on what they're going to do to their kits because that's kind of pointless. But we've got Graviton, who's going to be part of AIM, and we've got Scientist Supreme, Monstrosity, Assaulter, Security, Researcher, and Infector. So that's going to be 7 total people. 2 of them are coming out.
Yeah.
Hebrew, who are you going to keep in? Mm-hmm. Let's say they don't change too much the kits, and let's say they stay pretty much in the roles that they have right now, and Graviton comes in and he boosts them up. Who are you going to run in that team?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't even know their kits. They're so useless right now. I haven't even looked over their kits. I mean, other than Scientist Supreme, of course.
So all right. So you're going to have Scientist Supreme.
I'm not the person to... Yeah, I know I'm having Scientist Supreme. I know I'm going to have Graviton. So it really comes down to, I mean, I never use them for anything else. I'm just farming them for the inevitable future change. So the real question would be, as one of the only people that actually probably does know their kits and plays them, what would you drop there?
So obviously you're going to run Graviton, and you're most likely going to run Scientist Supreme. So let's call those 2 like your 99% runners, right? Right. You're going to put Security in there because you need a protector. Unless they're going to be insanely fast, and we know that's not likely to happen. So, so there's your 3, and so you're going to have Scientist Supreme, Graviton, and AIM Security. And so now I'm only sticking with AIM. I'm not going to throw in Ultron because Ultron works great with everybody. But if they keep the kits similar to the way they are now, the ones I'm dropping out are Researcher and Infector, though I'd probably swap Infector in from time to time depending on who I'm going up against, because he's kind of a sneaky play. Because he's kind of a poor man's Psylocke. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're familiar with Infector's kit or not, but basically he takes instead of taking the entire team's negative effects and applying them to somebody, he takes all of his own negative effects and applies them to somebody.
Okay.
So, he is in a way a poor man's Psylocke. So he's kind of that sneaky play. Researcher I leave out because even though she's kind of the healer for the team, Scientist Supreme will do a semi-decent heal, as well as give them a chance to revive. I don't see a need for Researcher. I would rather have Monstrosity and Assaulter on there, mainly because they're going to pump out a massive amount of damage in the right team.
Right. So
I feel like Graviton will be your controller, so he'll apply the control to the battlefield with the stuns and the slows. Scientist Supreme is probably gonna buff, debuff, and heal. security. I'm really hoping they don't do much to her kit because she's already got some really good functionality. And then you've got your 2 damage dealers with Monstrosity and Assaulter. Now, Monstrosity, you could drop out and put Infector in because, Monstrosity is just so slow, but he hits so hard. So, again, it really kind of depends on what those kits are going to look like. But I have a feeling that's going to be probably the team you want to run. Now, I would drop Monstrosity out and put Ultron in if you have Ultron because villain tech. So if they do get positive buffs, he's just extending them. So
yeah, the idea of, and you and I spoke about this a little bit earlier, but yeah, the idea of Ultron being able to easily slide in there is, with a rework coming for them, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, it really, really is. I can't think of anything else really on the AIM rework to talk about, or Graviton. I mean, we just know he's coming. We know he's AIM, and we know that they're getting a rework. So
yeah, it's all speculative.
I mean, I hate telling people you might want to consider farming them, because we don't know what the rework's going to look like. But I can't think of a rework that they've done where we've gone, well, this was garbage.
Yeah.
Their reworks have been pretty spot on.
Yeah, they're at least good. Like, they always at least end up being good. So that within itself is gives me a lot of hope.
Yeah, gives me a lot of hope as well. So, Hebrew, this week we did have a patron segment, and this week's segment is from Assassin Avenue. And so, you know what? I always say his name backwards, and I am so sorry. It's Avenue Assassin. Sorry, Avenue. Actually, I call him Assassin, so that's why I always say Assassin Avenue, but it's Avenue Assassin. So I want to make sure I get that right. But his question this week is, how big of a problem is stale content with MSF? Hebrew, I've talked for a bit now, so why don't you take this one and go first?
Yeah, so I hate continuously hating on Fox Next in one episode, but I like to piece it out amongst multiple episodes. But no, I think with this game, everything is like a recycled version of itself. It seems like very rarely do we actually get new content. I think the only things that I really appreciate that come out whenever they're new is just like the storylines and the campaigns.
Yeah.
But even then, I feel like they've become less imaginative than some of the original ones that we saw. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Do you agree with that or no?
To an extent, it's kind of. I feel like the stories have become more of, why are the Sinister Six working with S.H.I.E.L.D.? Right?
Yeah, that's true.
More of why. I mean, the Thing's storyline was the Yancey Street Boys. Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, if you're a comic book fan and you know this is kind of the Thing's backstory about his neighborhood and all that's fun. I'm not sure how well it plays into Strike Force.
Yeah, that's fair. But, outside of that, it's just, I really feel like everything is just a recycled version of itself. The newest thing we had, I guess, was War, right? I'm not missing anything there.
We'll take legendary events out of it, obviously. But yeah, I mean, nothing's. Well, I mean, can you count Ultimus 7? We did run it. I mean, it's not. We'll talk about that whole drama here in just a little bit. But can you count Ultimus 7 as quote unquote new content?
I don't. No, but that's what I would once again file under recycled content. I mean, there's so much recycled content that I never feel like I'm really getting anything new. So, I mean, I feel like, the last big addition to the game was War, which, don't get me wrong, I mean, like, that is a cool mode. They did interesting things. My personal opinions, I've stated multiple times, I really just, think in a nutshell that it comes around way too often. But Yeah, just other than that, like for the amount of time that we've had this game, I feel like the amount of new stuff and more importantly, new fun stuff and not just like another thing to do has been very, very small. So, and I hate, yeah, I don't want to sit here like hating on the game, but
Right, and that's and
because
don't
obviously I still play it.
right, and
But
that's not our intent here. We're not sitting here trashing Fox Next, right? That's not what we're trying to do. In fact, I just gave them glowing praise for Graviton and the aim rework.
yeah,
But we will talk about issues that we see, and for me, the stale content is an issue with the fact that I see it as a problem in the fact that, like what you said with the Ultimate 7, we should be excited to be getting a new raid. But like you said, it's just a rehash. It's basically a remapping and more difficult power numbers than the last Ultimate 6, right? And it's like, whatever. And the biggest problem here, for me, is I see they've done two things which are really, really bad. Their raid system, they kind of program themselves into a corner because there's nothing really new you can do with that raid system beyond adding node restrictions, upping the power levels. I mean, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, I want to just interject real quick here because I 100% agree with that. And it's really unfortunate because I think that raiding could be one of the areas that they shine in the most because they have such a huge franchise to pull from that I really wish, and I know I've said this 1,000 times, but I really wish that we had the Swoga style raids because not only would that drop a lot of time, which would be nice, but I want to go up against badass villains, and I want to care more about who I'm fighting against rather than the restrictions on the node and how many nodes I have to hit before my lane is done. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I want to go up against badass villains and figure out synergies to try to optimize my damage against them for the team. And with so many huge badass villains in this game, I feel like that would be an amazing thing to see. So I just feel like their emphasis is on the wrong thing there, and that would really be an amazing part of the game, and it would. Yeah, I don't want to go on about something that will never happen.
But I mean, look, I agree with you. I agree with you so much. It's not funny, but I also see the other side to that argument. That one of the complaints with the Swugga style of raids is they can be over so quickly. I mean the pit raid. That was just boom. You can now sim it, so you don't even have to run that one anymore. The tank raid, while difficult at first, now you can just auto that one in like 30 minutes. The only challenging one is the Sith raid, and even now that can be done so quickly it's not funny. So that can be kind of problematic with getting people on if they want to participate.
But is that any different? I mean,
not really. When you think about it, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right. Well, I was just gonna say, I feel like that's not that much different, except like once we're past the part where okay, this is easy now. In this game, it still takes up so much more of my time still, and I already have so many other things in this game that I could be spending that time on. So I would actually prefer to be able to just sim it one time and be done with it for the day.
I think that will be. I think the quote unquote time issue will be more of a problem when you get to Alt 7. Now, again, these are more mid to late game problems. New game players, you guys are still struggling to build your teams up. And we're talking more for the guys that have been in the game since global launch, or shortly thereafter, and are pushing that in-game content. For me, and I'm sure it's the same for you. I just go into the Alt 6 and it takes me 5 minutes to run my nodes.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
I hit a node, I hit auto, and I go
like
do whatever.
But yeah. Go ahead. You kind of broke out.
I was going to say,
I couldn't hear you there.
I go into a node, I hit auto, and I just do something. And then 30 seconds to a minute later, I do the next node.
Right, but it's just a lot of times you still have to worry about energy and things like that. And I would just rather just simplify the whole process and spend that time of, worrying about like if I have a busy day, right? Like I don't want to spend an elongated period of time, throwing out basically a really long auto and then coming back and throwing down more autos. I would rather just do it once and then be done with it. And not to mention, like my biggest thing still was just the I want more of the focus to be who I'm fighting against, not what restrictions are and things like that. I want to go up against badass villains and things like that. I just feel like here it's just like a mosh pit of enemies that I've seen 1,000 times before that are like whatever to me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I want to fight the Beyonder. I want to fight Galactus.
Exactly.
Somebody that's been infected with
Dormammu.
Cosmic Q, Dormammu. Infinity Glove Thanos.
Yeah,
right.
I
mean, there is so much untapped potential here. But again, I think a lot of it comes down to, do they have the staff or the knowledge on the staff to be able to program that into the game?
Yeah,
that's honestly my fear. That is still my biggest fear, is that they just don't have that.
Yeah,
they've got great character designers. I mean, their artists are top notch. Their programmers, I'm not trying to rag on anybody here, and I'm sure they're very nice guys. In fact, when I talked to Jason, great guy, and it was really nice to talk to. But I just worry about what they're really able to do.
Right. Exactly.
So
yeah, I pretty much said all I wanted to on this topic for me.
So wanted to talk real quick, because we did mention the Ultimate 7 before we get into kind of our fun topic of the week. Where are the rewards at? What are you guys doing? Now, there's a funny story behind this. It is entirely false, but this was making the rounds on the interwebs that somebody from either Cabal or Pants of Hulk was suing Fox Next to be the only one declared the winner of the Ultimate 7 raid. That was fantastic. And I actually asked Cerebro, and I was like, is there any legitimacy behind this at all? And one of the other envoys knows the leader of one of those, and was like, no, this is not true.
Yeah.
So, that begs the question though, where are the rewards? Where's the stuff that's supposed to have been from this? Because it's been a while. They didn't take this long with Widowmaker.
Yeah, I have a feeling that there's just so much content that they have deals for right now. Once again, this isn't me hating. This is me just like, I'm trying to figure out a reason why. And I think that there's like so much content that they're able to make deals for right now that it doesn't make sense to release it right now, because whenever it launches, that probably means that we're going to have the level increase as well. And there's going to be a lot of deals going on. So I think that they're just kind of waiting until probably after like Sue drops, I think, and like a little bit after Sue drops, and whenever that dies down, I think then they're going to release the Ult 7. But yeah, it's been a really long time. It's been way too long.
Well,
I think we can all agree on that.
They have made a lot of quote unquote incoming change promises that aren't being fulfilled. Right? We've mentioned what 3 so far with Coulson, Cyclops, and Ultimate 7. There was the level increase that was supposed to be incoming, and then there was also supposed to be this whole subscription package. It was supposed to start rolling out, and we're not seeing any of that.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
and so we're back into this realm of they're over promising and under delivering.
Yeah, they're good at that. And they're really good at that.
They've got that track record, unfortunately. But and then don't forget the save squads. There was supposed to be the 5 extra save squads.
Tack on 5 more.
Yeah, which honestly, thank you for the save squads. I appreciate the fact that you realize that we needed more, but just giving us 5 is kind of a joke, because you don't even have enough to do your entire roster let alone
It
if
almost
you want to
is-
build teams for different game modes.
Yeah, it's almost a little insulting because like we talked about this several times. It's like, why didn't we just get like as many as we wanted from the beginning? And we heard the whole server space thing, which, that was a lot of people's defenses, but I just don't buy it. This game pulls in more money than Swugga, I would imagine, and Swugga's had that forever.
And here's the thing: those save squads. Now I don't know their database structure, but I do know quite a bit about database storage and relationships and key relationships. You're basically looking at either numbers or business IDs like GUIDs that just point. So I have a save slot. So there's my player ID. There's my save slot number. So there's another record. And then there's the 5 foreign key relationships to the characters. It's not that much server space. I'm sorry. It's really not.
I don't know much about it, but I would agree with you that I don't think that it would require very much at all. And it sounds like from what you're saying, that it wouldn't require. So, it seems very.
No, I was just going to say, I'm not going to sit here and say it's not because I don't know their schema, right? I don't know their data schema. I'm not sure, what type of elasticity they've built into it. So, I'm just going from my experience in a relational field, that it would be relatively easy to store millions and millions of records.
Right. And just taking it from Swugga, like, I know it's possible, basically. Bottom line is I know it's possible, as does everyone else. So then, like, after us complaining for so long and then releasing so many more teams since we originally got this, and we were complaining even then, it feels really insulting just to get 5 more. We've heard you guys, and us being the benevolent gods we are, we will grant you 5 more slave slots. There you go. So yeah, it's I don't get it, and I don't understand why they think that that's enough, and it seems petty.
Yeah, it really kind of does. I'm sorry, Evan posted in the chat. Unless there are databases on punch cards, you aren't in dangerous waters. And it just raised a mental image in my head of Jerry the intern sitting back going, "Oh man, Dorian loaded up that team. I gotta go through the punch cards and go plug them in."
Yeah. Yeah.
Tressel, you make a joke. So Tressel made the joke here: unlimited unlimited save slots for $9.95 a month. That's not far from what they originally offered. They were going to sell us additional save slots.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. I'm not going to pay for save slots. Like, there's no way. And it's really unfortunate that was actually even in their mind that they would be that greedy about that. Ugh, that kind of grosses me out.
Yeah, that was really, really bad. Hey, here's something that we gave you for free, but if you want more, buy it. I mean, look, I don't know who the pit boss is over there, but they really know how to run that casino. It's honestly, that's casino tactics. Here's your comp. You want more, you got to pay for it.
Yeah,
or it's the drug dealer down the street. Hey, here's your free sample, man. If you want more, you know where to find me.
Exactly.
So, yeah. But let's talk about something a little bit more fun, and I think it's about time. I need to redo this, but we need to get through this week. And is it next week? Hold on, I gotta go open this thing up here. Because these were numbers from June, although surprisingly not that far off from what we had now. But yeah, so we're on support this week. We're gonna talk about our top 5 and 1 worst support characters. You know what? Let's do this. We've got how far are we into this show?
Hour and a half, probably.
Yeah, hour and 20. We got plenty of time. Let's do the last 3. So we'll start with support. We'll talk about our top teams, and then we'll do our legendaries.
Okay.
So, because the teams is really small.
Yeah.
And the legendaries, we're just going to kind of rank those 1 to Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not going to worry about Invisible Woman yet.
Okay.
So we'll do the top 6.
Okay. Is there even a filter for legendary?
I mean, I feel like those should be kind of known, kind of off the top of your head.
Well, I mean, yeah, but there's been like a handful of them at least. I'll just go into my game and figure it out from there.
Yeah, I don't think there's a thing for legendaries, but I can rattle the list off to you.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go through the original. The supports first.
So the supports, Hebrew. Who are your top 5 support in no particular order?
In no particular order. Okay. So it's gonna be. I like putting them in order, so I'm just gonna put them in order anyways. So mine's gonna be first Minerva, because Minerva is God. She's so plug and play, and she's an amazing character. Best healer in the game, hands down. So yeah, Minerva number 1. Then I'm gonna go ahead and pick Nick Fury, because he is also God mode.
No legendaries.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Okay. Then I'm gonna go pick. Sorry. Then I'm gonna go ahead and pick Rescue.
Okay.
Because she's part of the Power Armor team. She's amazing in war and in part of the tech team. I'm sorry, the Power Armor team. So yeah, hands down for sure, she's up there. Then I'm gonna go ahead and go Groot, because he's a staple in Guardians. He's really good in so many of the Enter the Darkness, Fear the Darkness team comps. He's just really solid character. So him for sure. And then I'm going to go ahead. This is whenever it starts to get a little more rocky. So I'm going to go ahead and say Shield Operative, because she's really good in the Fury Squad. She's really a pain in the ass to play against a lot of times. So her. And then I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to go ahead and say, well, how many have I done so far? Let me see.
I think 4.
I need 2 more.
I think I've
done 4.
You've done Minerva, Groot, Shield Op, and Rescue.
That's right. So 1 more. Man, it's honestly, like, I don't want to say Shield Medic just because that's boring, but it would probably be Shield Medic. But I want to actually say Yondu, just because I still really like Yondu. And I think he's like, he isn't as good as he was, obviously not even close to as good as he was. He's been, there's so many superiors to him now, but he still is a pretty solid champion. But Shield Medic just has the synergy on her side. So yeah, I think Shield Medic would win out for my 5th.
Okay. All solid choices. There are 2 I don't have on my list. And that would be Medic and Operative. Or I'm sorry.
Okay.
You said not Medic. Operative was not on my list.
Well, Medic ended up being my 5th.
Oh, I thought you said Yondu.
Maybe I swapped.
I think you swapped because you said I didn't want to go Medic.
Yeah. Well, I think like I wanted Yondu to be it, but I think realistically at the end, the Shield Medic would win out for logical reasons because of the synergy that she has, and she's a really good character. So
right.
Yeah.
So I don't have Op or Medic on my list. But again, Minerva, top of the list, zero doubt. All right, I mean, she's the best character in the game.
We knew that was
right. Number 2 on my list was Groot. Groot is just, he's just phenomenal. He's almost, he's not mandatory for Fear the Darkness, but he's necessary. He's really good for Fear the Darkness. And you'd pair him with Rocket and Star-Lord. I actually just run the 3 of them in war, and I just okay. Game over.
I wonder if it would still be, because I'm assuming the next one's Rescue, or no?
No. The next one on my list is Doctor Strange.
Okay, so I have a feeling that if this was taken like right now, because I know that was originally taken a bit ago.
Yeah, this was June,
if this was taken right now. Yeah, that Rescue would be right after Minerva. I would almost guarantee it.
Maybe so. Rescue is so. I tried to look at these more as their standalone abilities. versus what they do like with their team.
Okay.
Like Minerva works with any team. Groot, you can use him with almost
He's
any
super
team.
plug and play. Yeah, I agree.
Doctor Strange works with really any team.
Yeah.
Because he's got that
That's
buff
fair.
flip, that revive. So I always try to look at these as not as part of their team, but what they do kind of standalone. That's how I look at it.
You've mentioned that before, but I always think synergies first. So,
Which is fair.
standalone, you're right, because you pull rescue out independently, and especially independently out of a power armor and war, then she's pretty lackluster.
Yeah. I did have Yondu fourth because he's very plug and play, and he's really good at what he does. And look, the T4 ability, Matt, honestly, in war might be amazing if they've got buffs, because he's just going to steal buffs.
I don't think it'd be amazing anymore, just because we've seen like better versions of that now. But it would be better than it was before. That's for sure.
If you've got the T4 on his passive, he's going to steal 2 buffs at the start of every one of his turns in war against a buffed team. I don't know. I think that I gotta look into that. I feel like that could be kind of a really sneaky play somewhere. And then fifth, I did have rescue. On my list.
Okay.
She was just,
but it was still towards the beginning of where she had come out.
It was after her rework. So, I see her utility because I actually use her in the Alpha Raid right now for the global, because I'm running kind of a power armor with Ultron team.
Right.
So that was my list. So Minerva, Groot, Strange, Yondu, and Rescue. So here's what the community put. So Minerva, far and away, like double Groot. Groot was number 2. Yondu was number 3. Doctor Strange was number 4. And Shield Medic was number 5.
Right.
And Strange and Medic were very, very, very close together. And there really wasn't. The next, 6th was Merc Lieutenant, but he was like 100 points off of Medic. So that was, so we kind of came right in with the community between the two of us. We nailed what the community said here.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, who is, in your opinion, the worst support?
Worst support would probably have to go to. Actually, I think this one would be pretty clear cut. Well, okay, I would probably put AIM, because AIM is synonymous with the worst. I'm not, but I would probably say realistically. Well, actually, I don't know. It's going to be Stitcher Researcher. I'm going to go ahead and say AIM.
Okay. I agree with you. I think AIM Researcher is she's horrible.
Yeah.
I don't like Researcher. Sure, the heals are nice, but the debuffing with the heal, no. So I won't even put her on an AIM team. So that tells you what I think about her. And the community was pretty unanimous. AIM Researcher. Now I'm going to tell you, the community they had Scientist Supreme as the second worst.
Mm-hmm.
I completely disagree with that.
I disagree with that too. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, she's not in the top 5, but she's definitely not towards the bottom.
I think she's somewhere in the middle. I think she's solidly in the middle, because especially like right now, like buff flips can do a lot. Like, let's be honest.
I really think she's in the Night Nurse realm.
Yeah.
So, and then, so I said the community with the AIM Researcher. So let's talk about teams. This is going to be your top 5 teams.
Top 5 teams?
Yes.
Okay. Including Fantastic Four?
No.
Man, why can't we include Fantastic Four?
Because the community did not have Fantastic Four as an option.
Okay.
X-Men are an option, though. Sinister Six are not.
What was the one you said right before Sinister Six?
X-Men are.
X-Men, okay.
Sinister Six are not.
Okay. X-Men not including Phoenix, I'm assuming?
No, it includes Phoenix.
Include Phoenix? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and say at the top then, X-Men. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and say Brotherhood. I'm like racking my brain to try to make sure that I remember all of them. Then I'm going to go ahead and say, actually, no, I'm going to go ahead and say retcon this to be X-Men, then Power Armor, and then
Power Armor was not an option.
damn it, X-Men, X-Men, Brotherhood, Guardians. I'm terrible at this because I don't have a list of the teams in front of me. I'll keep those as my three. You do yours, so you remind me of who all is available, and then I'll go ahead and finish mine off.
All right, so I had in my top 5 Shield, Brotherhood, Guardians, Kree. I had Defender, but I'm taking them out and I'm putting X-Men in their place.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the top 5 that I had in no particular order. If I had to order them, I don't know if I would put X-Men at the top right now. The reason being is that you don't see a full X-Men team running together.
Yeah.
You don't see, honestly, now you really see more hybrids of everything. But I do think that X-Men
still the X-Men team is very good altogether, though. Like, incredibly good still.
Yes. And, even if you make the argument that's only because of Phoenix, which is fair, well, you got to say the same thing for S.H.I.E.L.D. is only because of Fury, and Brotherhood's only because of Magneto.
Plus Colossus is incredibly good with, whenever you have Phoenix there as well. So,
yeah.
It's not just Phoenix. She just does the most.
Right. But, yeah, I think Defenders would probably be 6th on my list.
Yeah. Nah, that's a good one. Wakanda for sure would be up there for me, I would say.
I couldn't put him up there. I just couldn't do it.
You couldn't put Wakanda up there?
No.
Because of the false promises.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I was talking to our good buddy Chewy today, and I realized that I got M'Baku and Killmonger both, like, M'Baku's now 6-star and Killmonger's 5-star, and I'm not even farming them. Like, I need to put work into them.
Though, honestly though, they are a good raid team. They just aren't what they said. Like, they're gonna perform well in 7, but they have a huge investment to really make them pay off, and even then the payoff is not what they said it was going to be.
No, it's really, really not.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. And then we're doing legendaries.
Well, here's what the community had. Now remember, this was from mid-June, July-ish. So Brotherhood was at the top at 929. Shield was second with 904 points. Guardian with 728. Defender with 596. And X-Men with 274. There was kind of that big drop off, but I don't think. But I think if you look at just running them you can only use Brotherhood, only use Shield, only use Guardian, only use Defender, only use X-Men. I may not disagree with that ranking.
Yeah.
Now,
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, who is your worst team?
Worst team. Once again, it would be nice to have the list. But I'm going to go ahead and probably say right now, probably AIM.
Yeah.
It's going to be AIM. It's going to be AIM or Hydra, but I would probably say AIM.
Yeah, AIM was pretty unanimous there. I put AIM. I put AIM as well. And so did the community.
Yeah. What was second worst?
Hydra.
Yeah. That's what I figured.
And then, so finally, now I want to jump real quick. You were starting to say something.
I don't remember what it was now.
I think it was talking about only being able to run the teams with themselves and not hybrids.
I don't remember now.
Oh, okay. because we were talking the community rankings, but I think that they were ranked like that because they were only running with their own kind.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, and then finally, let's finish up this survey, which is months old at this point.
Yeah.
And talk about the legendaries. And so, Hebrew, out of Nick Fury, Star-Lord, Magneto, Phoenix, Shuri, or Iron Man, who is the best legendary?
Phoenix for sure is the best legendary.
You think? Okay.
Yeah, I would hands down say that.
Okay. And who would you say is the worst?
Worst, probably, I guess it would be Shuri.
Fair. I actually agree with that one.
Yeah,
I think
because you would think Iron Man, but in a vacuum that would be the case. But with power armor, that's not the case. So, yeah, I would say Shuri.
Okay. So I actually disagree with you with Phoenix. I think she's an amazing character. Okay. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I still say Nick Fury's the best legendary.
Because he's all around.
He's all around. Phoenix is a one-shot character. She goes in intending to die, and she does it really well, and she does a lot of damage, but she's a one-shot character. She's that glass cannon. Fury provides the summons with the sustains and can really makes that entire shield team works, and he works outside of that shield team.
Yeah, I would. It really depends on what your metric for best is, because I mean both have things that are very good. Like if you look at each character, I think raw power wise for sure Phoenix takes the cake.
Yes.
But if you look at like overall playability in various modes, for sure I agree with you, Nick Fury takes the cake. So it really comes down to what your metric is. So I 100% agree with you that if you're looking at it from that way, Fury, hands down, takes it.
And I 100% agree with you that if you look at it from your way, you're absolutely right.
Mark this down, people. We both agree with each other.
We saw each other's side. We came to an understanding, and we agreed with one another. Oh, my gosh. Hell just froze over.
Right?
So the community did agree with me, though. So,
okay,
with Nick Fury, but they had Iron Man as the worst.
Yeah,
but I wonder if that was before we really saw what power armor was able to do.
Yeah, it's hard to say, like, if it had hit its peak by then or not. So
yeah, so that is you'll have to obviously go back through multiple episodes to get the entire list, but I wanted to go ahead and finish up so that we can move on. I want to do another survey over the next week. I'll probably put it out Sunday, getting more data from people, and we're going to make it a little bit more concise this time. So if you have suggestions, please in the podcast comments, let us know what type of survey you'd like to see us to discuss about characters and talk about. So, let's see. Hebrew, you know what time it is, right?
What time is it?
Yeah, grab bag, man.
Oh, the grab bag time. I totally forgot about grab bag now.
Well, lucky for them, I didn't.
Grab bag time.
All right. So, Hebrew, we're going to ignore the first question here because it's not a question, it's a statement.
I don't have it pulled. I don't like looking at the questions. I like to hear them fresh.
Oh, it's the one I sent you. It was actually the very first one.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah,
let's see. So, what's the last book you read?
Last book I read.
Now, we're going to limit this. We're going to limit this from like start to finish.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to probably... the IKEA instructions for my closet.
Hey, look, that thing is like a book. I'm not that's fine. That's completely fine.
Yeah, but I'm gonna. I think it actually, well, no, because I didn't finish it technically. So the last one that I started slash I'm still going through because there's no need to speed through it. Is this book called it's a Space Alice that I got from Barnes and Nobles about 2 months ago. Uh, that's really cool. So I'm kind of flipping through that right now. But the last one I actually read was from front to back was The Infinite Jest.
Okay.
So
And there's
what
a
about you?
reason why I said front to back, or that you finished.
Yeah.
Because I'm in a particular book every day, but I never finish it.
Right. I feel you. Now, does Audible count, or is it just read?
I don't know. It just says what's the last book you read. So let's say actually read.
Okay, that's fair.
So man, I couldn't tell you. I have stopped reading. I used to devour books. Do comic books count? I've been going through a lot of comic books. Well, the DCU, man, there's 1,100 comic books on their site.
Yeah.
So I've been reading a lot of DC comic books. I'm really hoping Disney Plus does something similar with Marvel. That would be fantastic. So for me, it's going to be comic books, and last I read was I'd say I'd started Wildstorm, but I put it up. I think it was the last ones I read. I'd started Doom Patrol, the 2017 restart.
That's fair.
Which that series was really funny, really good. And hey, Titans started today. Nice.
Oh shit! I actually forgot. My last read book I think is actually Timeline by Michael Crichton. Scratch that. That's my last read
Timeline's
book.
really good.
Yep. Yeah. I read that about probably. Gosh, it's so pathetic that it's legitimately like 4 months ago. Like that was my last read front to back book. But yeah, that's pretty sad. But yeah, that is the case.
And I used to love reading Crichton.
Yeah,
All the Jurassic
Crichton
Park
has so
series,
many good books.
Sphere,
Yeah,
Timeline,
Sphere was great. Congo.
Yeah, man, so many good
Lots
books.
of good ones.
One of my other favorite authors was Tom Clancy.
I never got
Clancy.
into it, but there's so many people that love Tom Clancy books.
Oh, he is. If you like political intrigue, and now I recommend one of his best books that doesn't get a lot of play. Is called Red Storm Rising, and it's about a hypothetical World War III and why it would start, and then it kind of goes through the conflict. I mean, it is an amazing book. And then there's another really, really good one called Footfall. I want to say that's from the late 70s, early 80s. It's kind of it's a sci-fi alien invasion book. But it's amazing. Oh no, not Footfall. Footfall is it's a kind of an Armageddon asteroid. Part of an asteroid hits the Earth, and what do people do when society basically collapses?
That's pretty cool. That does sound cool.
Footfall is really, really good. Okay, let's see. If you had a choice between Kree, Fantastic Four, or Wakanda, which team would you bring up to T12?
Kree, Fantastic Four, Fantastic Four for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Fantastic Four at this point, because I think they're going to do some work in Arena.
Yeah.
How excited is Dorian about Gravitron? Just listen to this show. I am stoked.
Yeah.
Because I remember something you said way back in the day, something about when the time comes for AIM to get their rework.
Yeah, because it was inevitable. So, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Not a serious question, but I remember that Star Wars comic is a Marvel publication. Do you think Fox Next would ever consider bringing those characters into MSF? It could be a quick crossover event or a purchasable mod. It'd be an interesting concept, or do you feel it would take away too much from the essence of the current game? Ultimates does cross multiple dimensions. Why not that one? Well, EA owns pretty much every Star Wars gaming license out there, except for TT for the Lego games. But I don't see Fox Next ever bringing Star Wars into Strike Force.
Yeah, I can actually say that I know that some of the creators, or I should say, Fox Next employees, geez, cannot speak. They would like the idea of crossovers, but American companies, and this is coming from one of them, American companies specifically, for some reason, are very, very hesitant to do any of that. They like to keep it clean cut, and they don't like to do crossovers. With Japanese companies, you see the opposite. You see crossover events all the times with games. So, yeah, we're not going to see that here, basically. But it would be awesome if we did. I would really like that. I like crossover events a lot, personally. So.
Yeah, I think it would be really cool. But yeah, it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I feel like if anything, it's just more of a trophy for how long you've played the game, because you get that event. Fast forward, like a year from then, new people are in the game. We're like, oh my god, how did you get that character? It's like, I've been playing this game for that long. They did an event forever ago, and it was great.
Yes, that would be really really cool.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. If you could, hold on, let me get back over there. Sorry, I was looking something up. If you could pick a protector for power armor, who would it be? Their vote's for Ultimo. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I had to look up Ultimo.
I actually know Ultimo from. I didn't know about him until I got. Why am I blanking on this name right now? The new game for Switch.
Okay.
Why am I
Marvel
blanking?
Ultimate
You know
Alliance?
what I'm talking about? Yes, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the new one. He was in there, and I didn't know who he was, and I was playing with Chew, and I was like, "Who the hell is this guy? I've never even seen him before." And so he told me a bit about him. But yeah, so I would actually say Ultimo would be awesome as a protector for them. Unfortunately, my knowledge of MCU is very small compared to most of everyone else. I constantly am asking Dorian and Chew and everyone else, what's going on with these new characters. But yeah, so considering I do know Ultimo and he would be awesome, I would pick him.
Okay. So I would actually pick. The name is blanking on me. I want to say Demolisher, but I don't think that's right. The power armor of the Asgardians that you see in the very first Thor movie. He's basically indestructible. He could be power armor or a blaster, I guess. But his name escapes me. Somebody in the audience want to help me out here? Destroyer. I thought it was the Destroyer, but when I look up the Destroyer on the Marvel Wiki, it's not showing up. So
I don't even remember Thor 1. It's been so long now. I need to go back and rewatch.
that's sad. And yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yes, you do, because Thor 4 is coming out.
Thor was never my favorite series until Ragnarok. Then Thor instantly became my favorite in all of the MCU. Besides Gambit, of course, but as far as the characters we've seen so far in MCU, Thor then skyrocketed to the top.
Evan found it because I'm trying to do the research while talking on the podcast, so I completely missed the enchanted armor power destroyer. So thank you, Evan. So let's see. Next question here. I gotta get back to the survey. Actually, I gotta get here. Give me 1 second, gang. I gotta get to. Let's see. NDS. Now he asked this last week, so I'm not sure if he's still having this problem or not, but he was stuck on Mystic 2.8, where you have to protect the shield resistance prisoners who start at low health. Can't even 1-star that node. Any advice? I hate those. You gotta protect.
Yeah, I don't remember the node well enough to know, but the best thing to do for any protection node is you gotta bring in taunters and then a heavy DPS unit, but bring in as many people to taunt and defense up as much as you can.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But I also think that you need Loki in there to be able to stealth. So you
That's
need
true.
Loki
Yeah,
with
good point.
almost a maxed ultimate, so that he stealths everybody, and then also hand sentry because he also will stealth everybody, but also give them dodge.
Yeah, that's like actually come to think of it, that makes things, because it's been so long since we've had to go through like campaign nodes.
Right.
That makes Loki makes things so much easier now in retrospect. If we would have had him, he's a great character to bring in for those.
Yep.
If he's applicable to that campaign section, but yeah,
Yeah.
for
Well,
sure.
he is. I mean, if you've got him, I mean, he's applicable. In fact, they may
Yeah,
even give you a Loki when you're in there, or is it a Doctor Strange?
I think
I
it's a
don't
Doctor
recall.
Strange.
They probably give you a Strange because Loki just kind of makes that easy mode.
Yeah.
Um, and then so Riker asks, "What characters, if any, do you wish you hadn't wasted resources on?" His was Night Nurse.
Yeah, I would probably say Night Nurse. She was really good at the time, and now I never use her. She's one of the few characters that I just I never use anymore, that I had so much invested in. So I would either say her or um maybe Yondu for similar reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Now, I did not put a whole lot into Night Nurse. In fact, she's still only 5-star for me, tier 9, or I'm sorry, tier 10.
Mhm.
And she's not even, her abilities aren't even max. They're 5 5 5 3.
Oh wow. Yeah,
So
that's
I'd never put a lot of stock into Night Nurse. I kind of regret Kingpin a bit.
yeah, that's true.
Although he's tier 61 or tier 10, level 61. He's ready to be ranked up to 7-star, but he's 5 5 6. The only one I took max on him was the last one, which applies defense up to everybody.
Hmm.
And gives offense up to 5 allies. So, boy, other than that, I I really don't have a whole lot of people I kind of regret.
Yeah, I don't have like I invested in Wakanda, oh no kind of situation
Right?
going on. So so yeah.
Yeah, there's
You know, my regrets are fairly minimal
yeah,
in
and
this
I don't
game, but
even
I
know
would
if I
say those two are
regret
the ones.
Yandu.
I do, just because I just never use him. Like he's on a ward defense. That's about it.
Yeah, you might want to switch that up. I'm telling you, try him on war
Or
offense.
actually, no, scratch that. Yeah, he is on offense, not defense.
Yeah, because I might take his passive up. Um, yeah, I might take his passive up to try on war offense
Yeah.
to get that steals to get those buff steals. That's not a bad idea. I have to think about that one. Those were our patron grab bags. Those are the only two that we had. So, guys, if you're a patron and want to get your question right on the air, make sure to get it into the patron grab bags section, because you guys are guaranteed to have your questions answered, and the answers are guaranteed 100% correct. Let's see. Just how happy was Dorian when Fox Next posted the official Graviton picture? Pretty excited. I didn't come up with this myself. Somebody posted it somewhere else. Maybe the MSF Discord. But it's a John Wick 3 picture. He looks dead on Keanu from John Wick 3, and
Mhm.
I so see that, which makes it
Mhm.
even better because I thought John Wick 3 was fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you think we'll get another Darkness event when the level cap goes up? And how do you think they'll qualify entry? What would be the reward?
Well, I'd hope. I mean, they've already set, uh, a cap with what's the face, Ultron. So, or not Ultron.
You mean
No,
enter with the
Ultron.
6-star? I mean, they had. So,
Yeah.
what's the what do you think the entry fee would
No, no,
be
no.
for
I'm,
the?
I'm talking about for rewards, because he had mentioned something about rewards, right?
Yeah, who or what could be the reward
Hello?
if they did another darkness
Yeah,
campaign.
yeah. So I was gonna say, right. So I was gonna say they set the bar pretty high with Ultron. So it would have to be someone really, really good for the next one. So I'm not sure who that would be, but maybe Doctor Doom. That would be pretty cool,
Doom would be cool
if they made him the reward. So I could see something like that. It'd have to be like a big hitter. But for the restrictions on it, I don't know. Probably a Red Star restriction. I bet.
That would be that you okay?
Bullshit. Yes.
Yeah,
Probably.
I mean, I jokingly, I made the I'm retiring joke really early in the game. If they ever lock something behind Red Star entry, I'm probably officially done.
I honestly think that we're not terribly far off from that. So.
I mean, that would just be no way to farm it. So, woo-hoo. I mean, Orange Unique gear is bad enough. You are stuck with the RNG of did it drop? Will it drop? Woo-hoo, nobody knows. But if they made it that you had to use like 5 Red Star characters in that node, I would rage quit so fast it's not funny.
I bet it would be something fairly low, but still, like no matter what, like even the inclusion of a 1 Red Star is enough to make me riot. But I think that like it would probably end up being like something like a 4 Red Star or something like that, 3 or 4 Red Star, and then probably like T14, depending on what your reward is.
Yeah. Now, I could see if they continue their current progression system, I would be okay with like it has to be 6-star T13, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or 7-star T13. I'm okay with that because that even though like for me personally, that would take Minerva completely out of the equation.
Right.
And I don't know a lot of people that would have Minerva at 6 or 7 stars to be able to use her in that raid mode. Or you do something to really kind of castrate her so she's not as powerful in that game mode.
Gonna castrate her, okay.
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
It's getting late, man. Let's see. Here's one. I'm gonna send you this. I'm gonna send you this one privately because it does start. Please read this with love. We see your question. I'm sending it.
If you want to read it off, you can read it off. Is it what? If it's about me, like I don't care. You can read it off. It's fine.
Okay.
If you want to. Yeah.
Please. No, I'll just send it to you privately.
Is it bad? How bad?
It's not bad. It's a grammar thing, so it's really just kind of nitpicky grammar.
Thing?
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Like, do you know the difference between when and whenever?
Yeah.
They're not mutually interchangeable.
Yeah, I mean, when it's referring to like a specific time, whenever it's not. But what does that have to do with anything?
But you'd have to read the question. Right. So,
hold on. So let me real quick. I actually want to respond to whoever. Oh yeah, it's anonymous, so I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know who it is. Hopefully they listen. Apparently they listen to all your shows.
Yeah, apparently. Okay, well, I honestly didn't know this. Maybe I'll pay attention to it now. But yeah, I think that's just it's not stemming from a I don't know. It's stemming from a I didn't know I do this. This is hilarious. Basically, yeah. Apparently, I interchange when and whenever. I don't even know how or when, but I'm probably gonna like try to listen back to see if I do that. But yeah, thanks for pointing it out at least. No love lost. I'm actually going to try to pay attention to that now. So thanks for pointing it out.
Yeah. Well, since you read that one, I'll read the other one I wasn't going to read off.
Okay.
So this one is please cancel Rosewatch. It is what is stopping me from becoming a patron. All I can say is if you're letting a minute to 2 minutes of a 2-hour show stop you from becoming a patron, more power to you. Okay. Thank you for letting us know. We appreciate your feedback.
I'm just saying this is let me put it like this. I don't like Rosewatch. If I can stomach it, don't get me wrong. If you don't think you can, then don't. I understand. But if I promise you, if you can stomach it for a few minutes, it's not too bad, and it's also stopping anyways. For the next, I
For a
guess,
while.
over the winter.
Yeah,
So,
maybe we'll see.
now it's gonna stick around.
Now we never know. Let's see. Thoughts on that guy that likes Gambit retiring, and do you think we will see more? Well, I think I gave my thoughts. If Hebrew didn't cut it out the first few minutes of the show,
We'll see.
And that's up to you. Cut it if you want.
Yep.
Let's see.
I mean, wait. So he likes Gambit? I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah. You and he are like bosom buddies on Gambit, man.
Oh man, that makes me kind of sick. But not enough to change my love for Gambit, of course. But yeah, that's unfortunate. All right.
Yeah. No, that was not you retiring. That was talking specifically about.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not retiring.
If the AIM rework is just meh, what category of Angry Dorian will make landfall? Oh, it will be a perfect storm. Oh, that was not.
It's so perfect for the timing right now. Terribly perfect for the timing right now. But yeah,
that's not supposed to be playing.
What?
Oh, maybe you can't hear it. The outro was playing.
Yeah, I can't hear that. So
okay, the audience might have been able to. Sorry about that. That will not be in the final show. That's just what you guys get being in the live studio audience. Let's see. Has Hebrew ever disagreed with anyone?
I'm assuming this goes off of the I agree thing from whenever I fill in for Chew occasionally.
Maybe. I can tell you privately, yes, we disagree on a lot all the time.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, so I did this I agree thing over there like one time, and apparently like caught on. But so I do agree with a lot of. I mean, everyone that I'm around, like they all have really good ideas and decisions, and like we agree on a lot of stuff. So yes, I agree. But Dorian and I disagree on so many things. It's crazy.
We do. But you know what? We have solid logical discussions, each giving us our own side, and at some point we just go, you know what? We're gonna have to agree to disagree, and we stay friends. So
we've gotten really good at it too, honestly. Like we've gotten really good at it.
We have gotten really, really good at it.
We also know when each one of us is getting mad too. Like whenever it starts off, like and we know when each one of us is like, all right, let's calm it down.
Yeah,
because we're getting off a little bit.
Why do you not see it, man? How do you not see it?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, because this next one might be one of those things. Who's your favorite stand-up comedian?
This is such a difficult question. I would say that my favorite stand-up comedian is so like family friendly. I have to divide it because like family friendly stand-up comedian that like I'll go watch with anyone, Jim Gaffigan. I think he's absolutely hilarious.
It's really good.
Yeah, and he's one of the few comedians that I feel comfortable like seeing with my parents.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I would for sure say because I think that he's unique for that reason.
Fluffy's pretty family friendly.
I just don't like him. I just don't find him funny.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never been able to get behind him. But other than that, I would probably say Tom Segura. He's so funny to me, it's ridiculous. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Tom Segura is my favorite.
Okay, so I'm gonna break these up into categories, right? So current, I would have to say right now, Dave Chappelle. Just flat out. For having the balls to just do what he did. And it was funny stuff. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend the Netflix special. I have not seen it. I've only seen bits of it, but it's been getting a lot of rave reviews. So, but I've always kind of liked him, and I think he's one of the more he does comedy right because he doesn't pick a side. He lambasts everybody, which is what comedy should be.
I agree.
I used to really like not so much his stuff anymore, but Titus is really funny. You want a good laugh. Love is Evil is a great show. All time though, boy, I don't know how you get past Robin Williams at the Met. That may be one.
I've never seen that.
Oh, the Robin Williams at the Met is. I put it right up there with Raw from Eddie Murphy as some of the greatest comedy shows of all time.
Really?
Yeah, I've always loved Robin Williams stand up. I always thought he was great. And I mean, I don't think you can ever put anything next to Raw. Especially for what Eddie Murphy did at the time was just amazing.
Yeah, I never got too much of Eddie Murphy because he like fell off the map whenever I was a kid. So for me, I never like really got to experience too much of him. I saw Trading Places and Coming to America. That's like it.
Wait, you never saw Beverly Hills Cop?
No.
Oh man.
Does it infuriate you how young I am sometimes in comparison?
Well, you said Trading Places, and that was before Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, my dad showed me that one. I mean, my dad shows me a lot of movies that, you know, are kind of iconic, but
right.
Or at least
Beverly
I think
Hills
are
Cop is very iconic.
Apparently not enough to him, I guess.
But I'll give you props on Trading Places.
That was a great movie.
All right. Well, I don't see anything else on here today. But I do want to thank everybody that took the survey and had time to put a question in for the grab bag. And if you don't want to take the survey and you still want to leave us a grab bag question, you can do so in our grab bag channel on our Discord. So Hebrew, before we head out for the weekend, why don't you let everybody know, man, who you're farming?
So right now I am not really farming too much of anyone. I mean, besides my Scientist Supreme, keeping that going. And I guess I'm doing Fantastic Four when they're available, you know. But other than that, yeah, I'm kind of holding on to a lot of my resources because I just have this feeling I want to heavily invest in the next raid team. And I keep thinking it's like the next team to come. So I've been kind of at a standstill for a little while. So I am getting Phoenix next time she comes around. So, you know, I spent a good amount of time farming them. But other than that, yeah, I'm kind of holding off on everything else right now. What about you?
So yeah, I'm ready for Phoenix. I got everybody to 6-star. And then I kind of was like, I'm not getting to 7 this time around, so I stopped farming them. Vision and Loki are part of my daily farms now, and because they're like 250 out of 300 or 200 out of 300, so I just want to finish those two up because they're both so good. And then I am working on Scientist Supreme and AIM Security, because security.
Yeah, I need to start farming the rest of AIM.
Yeah, right, well, I started on security primarily for war.
Yeah.
I am trying to farm as much as any human being can. Superior adamantium.
Right.
I want to get Captain Marvel. I need 4 pieces of superior adamantium, and
yeah,
I just it's all I need to get her to T13.
Yeah,
she is amazing, even though she's only at 179 and 200. But yeah, so War Machine. I am doing the Kree, so I need to get Cyborg and Noble. They're the last 2 minions. I need to get a 7-star Fury.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm actually spreading my daily farms around quite a bit right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah. So, all right, Hebrew. Well, with all that being said, was there anything that you wanted to say before we head out for the week?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Well, we do want to thank you for listening to the Ravager Report. You can find us on any and all of your favorite podcast apps or by going directly to our Podbean site at ravagerreport.podbean.com. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a rating and a review, as it does help us make the show better for you. You can find us on Twitter at Ravager Repo and join our Discord channel at discord.me/Ravager Report. If you would like to help support our show, you can do so at patreon.com/Ravager Report, where you can get early access to show notes, the uncut live show before it's released, roster reviews, and segment suggestions. Finally, we do want to send a great big shout out to all our listeners and patrons for their continued support. And until next time, keep fighting, true believers.